Well, you can probably see the rain coming down behind me today, so no detecting today, but I did take the high frequency coil for the XP Deus back to that field where I found those two Confederate buttons. And there's a patch that's maybe 50 yards around that's full of iron, loaded with iron, probably where the old home site was. And I took this coil back there and had a good time. I tell you what, this thing is a keeper. This is a really nice little addition to the toolbox for hunting those iron-infested sites and those heavily wooded areas where this coil can sneak in where other coils can't. So I went back to there in the field. I call it Fire Ant Field, and if you watch this video through to the end, you'll understand why. There are fire ant mounds everywhere out there, guys. But anyway, I took it out, had a good time, found some good stuff. Check it out. Well, I've hit this nice clearing in the woods here. There was an old home site right out in here, just infiltrated with iron everywhere out here. So I'm just working real slow with that high frequency coil. Got a decent signal down here, just a few inches down. Again, this is not about depth, it's about separation. Check this out. Nice. Oh, that's an old one. Real heavy. Wow. Not even sure there's a back mark on there, but that shank is standing straight up. Gorgeous old flat button. Real thick. Rang up like a quarter. We will take it. Alright, well here's a good illustration of a signal I just found here. There's iron all over the place. Listen. I got iron over here. I got iron up here. Iron over here. But if I move over just a little bit, there's a good target. That's what this small coil is all about, is squeaking out those little targets in between iron. Got iron here. Got iron over here. It's a good signal. Let's dig it up. Well, this little coil's really doing its job. Check out what's in the plug. Just popped it up. I have not turned it over yet. Let's do it together. Let's see what we've got here. Eagle General Service, and it is a beauty. Wow. That is what it's all about. A little bent over shank, otherwise it's in really nice shape, guys. Look at that. Rang up real solid on that little coil. Fished it right out of this iron. I love it. Look at this. This is just crazy thick back here, guys. I'm putting this coil back into spots that the 11-inch coil would never, ever make it. And I just got a good signal. I saw something good. Roll back into the plug here. We're back into the hole. Well, let me get my pin pointer out. There's a thing here. There it is. It's a cuff button. Let's roll it over and see what we got. Oh yeah, that looks like, that's civilian. That's a flower button. Yeah, check it out. Beautiful. That's definitely time period. Mid-1800s. Alright, well, definitely an old home site here, but look how thick this is back here. Really thick, so I'm just poking along the edges here. We'll see what keeps coming out of the ground, but I like it already. Well, back here in the middle of it, look at this, guys. There's my field out there. I'm back in the thick here. Look, I've got a barbed wire fence that's thrown off my detector, but I was still able to pick up a decent signal here. Solid little 85. Look at this. It's broken. But there's some age on that one. Yeah, that was a real good signal. Well, you can probably hear I'm right up next to the road, right back over there. And it is thick, but there's some old stuff in here. Gonna keep at it. Well, I did find the rest of that buckle, and it's pretty ornate. So we'll get that cleaned up. Sweet. Well, that one came out from deep. Holy cow, that was a good foot down. Great big old iron spike. My goodness. That has some age on it. Alright, this one was down there quite a ways for the little elliptical coil. Almost 8 inches maybe. Got something right here. Yeah, little brass ring. Looks like a grommet, half a grommet. But I'll tell you what, for being 8 inches down, that's pretty darn good with this elliptical coil. That's some pretty decent depth on a pretty small target. So we'll take that. At least I know my settings are working pretty good. I did some tweaking on it and did some testing. I like what I've got so far. Man, this coil is killing it today back in this thick stuff. Check this out, right up high in the plug. Again, iron thick everywhere in here. This is only 2 inches down. Another eagle button. Oh yeah, and it's nice too. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. I can feel the shank on the back, just a slight bend to it. Man, that is so awesome. Wow. That's gonna clean up nice. I tell you, I'm just swinging back here in this stuff. It's really thick, but I'm getting this coil back into areas that I'd never be able to get an 11-inch coil in. It's like working virgin ground. Awesome. Okay, I turned the speaker on the Deus so you could hear this, but this is a perfect example of a signal back in here in this brush that I never would have found with the 11-inch coil, but I'm able to slip this coil back in underneath, and that's all I heard. Now I've brushed away the leaves. Nice signal. So I think, aside from the car noise back here, I'm going to dig that and see what we've got. It's ringing up as a 90. Let's dig it. Well, that signal was under that root, but now it's right here. And it is a 2-piece cuff button that I cannot identify yet. Well, let me put a brush on it, guys. It is smashed flat, but I can't see much on here. Hold on a minute. Well, I'm going to have to clean this one up a little bit. The shank is flattened out on the back. I see a couple of objects there on the front. I don't know, I just can't make anything out. Maybe you can see something, but I'll put a toothpick to it and see what we've got, but it is squished flat. But that is a pretty darn good signal from, what is that, 5 or 6 inches down at least? Pushing 7 maybe? Not a bad deal. Well, I can't leave without showing you why I call this fire ant field. Well, here's the trash from today's hunt. It was a good 6.5 hour hunt. Had a lot of holes dug, a lot of shotgun shells, a lot of scrap brass and wire and aluminum. All that stuff was dug today. And in fact, I just wanted to show you this. Here's a couple of 5-gallon buckets full of my trash from the last 365 days. I have kept my trash just to see what it looks like for the last year of digging. And it's filled 2 5-gallon pails to the brim. So there's a look at what you got to dig to get the good stuff, guys. A lot of shotgun shells, a lot of aluminum, a lot of miscellaneous brass, some flat iron pieces. 1 year's work. All right, let's move on to the good stuff. Okay, let's take a look at some of the better finds that were recovered on this hunt. Again, it was about a 6.5 hour digging time hunt. So I was out there all day and it was just a blast. Working at the iron with that elliptical coil really made a big difference. And I'm definitely going to be using that coil more at sites like this where it's really thick or it has a lot of iron. So anyway, dug a lot of iffy signals today. As you can see, dug a lot of trash and had a lot of signals that were real scratchy, like this old spoon bowl. It's like a pot metal spoon. That's an old one though. Had a real nice signal on this buckle. It came out in 2 pieces, unfortunately. A little bit decorative. Found a couple of watch pieces there too. There's a watch back and an old gear from a watch. Little musket ball. Nice big flat button and another one here. I did find a tiny flat button that I didn't get filmed. And it's real unique in shape. It's kind of beveled a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a concave on the back side. 1-piece button. And I did find out, or I did identify this button. And I'm going to orient it so you can see it. But it is an eagle cuff button. You'll see the eagle head at the top and then the wings splayed up. So General Service eagle cuff button. There's a Scoville back mark on it, but it is smashed flat. It is pretty brutal. And I did find another General Service button, and it also is smashed flat. Really demolished. It's got a little pebble that was pushed in there. But definitely identifiable. Best quality back mark. So certainly not in the best shape. Here's that little flower button. This is really unique. Cleaned up nice. It has an iron back, I believe, so it might be post-war. But pretty neat. And then the 2 gorgeous buttons that I found there were these General Service buttons. A lot of detail on these. They clean up so nice. And again, I just use a toothpick to scrape the dirt and the grime off. And then give it a little brass brush just to kind of finish it off. There's the back side. No back mark on this one, so just a real generic eagle button. And then the second one, just as nice. Undamaged. Beautiful patina. I like how they retain that patina. When you use a toothpick on it, you get to retain that beautiful green or brown patina. This one has a back mark here. It's a Waterbury Button Co. back mark. But again, just love the way these buttons look coming out of the ground. So very productive hunt. And I will be back there for sure. And certainly we'll be adding that elliptical coil to my arsenal for working those areas that are really thick, the thick woods like that, and also those iron-infested sites. That's just a great coil for those types of sites. So I hope you enjoyed the hunt. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time, guys. Good luck out there.